welcome to Create Expectations. I'm Tom Maggot Kennedy, joined by Dan Lagal-Lozier, Chris Lama Palumbo, and Matt Marshall Carvalho. We are the Groovy Guys. This is the podcast for record collectors and music nerds, and today we are diving into our semi-regular roundup on all things Diggin, Spinnin Giggin. Gents, let's jump straight into it with what everyone's been digging lately. Chris, I hear you got a little care package recently.
I more like a care phone call and then care package. It was spectacular.
Nice. Tell us about it.
I got this anonymous phone call from a listener. Never don't know this guy at all. Never heard of him once. And he called
completely. How do you get your?
I don't know. Off the internet,
Stalking.
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Stalker. I think stalk. I'm getting stalker vibes here.
Chris, you're the kind of guy that doxes himself constantly. So.
Yes, just throw it out there. So I get this phone call from this super anonymous listener, and he's like, "I'm at a garage sale, and I'm standing in front of this bin of records, and they're $5." And I was like, "Okay,
I'm interested."
I mean,
how many Barbara Streisand and Kenny Rogers albums are in this pile?
Right.
Let's see.
So instantly, I want to just be like, "Okay, yeah, cool, whatever." I was having breakfast. It was like stupid early on a Saturday morning. I was like, I don't care. And then he starts off and he starts listening. He's like, "Well, it's Jimi Hendrix and then The Who." And I'm like, wait, whoa. How much are these? And he's like, $5. I was
Hold
like,
up.
"Well, I'll take those too." Okay. And he's like, "All right," puts them aside. And then he starts going on, and some Zeppelin gets thrown in there. And then a Black Sabbath album pops up. Then a Deep Purple album pops up. And I was like, whoa.
Jeez.
Does he have any more Sabbath? I stopped him. I was like, just discovered I like Sabbath. Does he have any more? And I can hear the guy, because now I'm on speakerphone. The guy's like, do you know what? Let me check in my basement. I'm only selling doubles. I'm like, these are his doubles? Wow. Oh. So
there's some good doubles to have.
Runs in the basement and grabs a bunch.
Give us a look.
Here, we'll do this. This is for the gram. The gram. I already posted it in our group chat. So if you're part of the new Groovy Guys group chat,
shout out to the Groove Lounge.
Groove Lounge. It was going pretty good there, and then it got a little overwhelming. Not gonna lie, but that's what it's for.
All right, give us a look.
So I got some Hendrix here, smash hits. So that one was for Tom. I got.
Oh, it's nice to have a greatest hits record.
Sabotage. Black Sabbath.
Good album. One of the first 6 with Ozzy.
Yeah. Zeppelin 2. Still.
Nice.
Hey, still on the look. I asked if he had 3. He didn't have it.
It's a hard one.
Rush Moving Pictures.
Nice.
This one, okay. So I may have cheated the other week because I swear it's in the Rush collection at my dad's house. And he was like, "Oh, that's the only Rush album we don't own." And I was like, "Well, thank God I bought it." Well, there we go. So I own it now.
Thanks, anonymous listener.
Yeah. Thanks, anonymous listener. Deep Purple, Machine Head. This one can actually play the hits rather than mine that just skips all over the place. Right. Remember from that before?
Crank that highway star.
Yeah. New, some more Deep Purple. Who Live at Leeds.
We can't say them, Chris.
More Deep Purple. It's not. I'm just more Black Sabbath.
Nice.
Black Sabbath.
Nice.
Amazing.
Black Sabbath. And
did this guy raid my basement?
Black Sabbath.
Yes, buddy.
And then more Zeppelin to end
nice.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
I feel like that's an underrated.
That's
Zeppelin
actually
album.
a John Paul Jones album, not a Led Zeppelin album.
Yeah, it's a John Paul Jones album.
No, I'm kidding.
My bad.
It's a throwback to the first ever hot take.
Yeah.
First ever hot take, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Awesome.
It's
wow.
Honestly, for I think it was $70.
Oh my God, man! You could have easily spent that just
$70.
one.
So
of
the
those
lesson
records.
here is always answer your phone, even if you don't know who's calling, because
so when some creep calls
could
you,
be a stalker at a garage sale.
Also got the guy's number. He has tons more to sell.
Wow.
Damn.
And I did pick up. These are communal. So if there's something in there that you desperately want, It's for.
I think I have
kind of for the group.
Chris, do not give that number to Matt because he's going to be coming home with
He
a
will
trunk
raid that guy.
full of records.
Well, it's if there's something you desperately need and been looking.
Just give me the whole lot. I don't care what's there. Just give me the whole lot.
I
if
think
there's
I
something
have.
you desperately want.
I'll
I
clean
think
it
I
up.
have everything that you showed us there.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I
Pretty,
feel like I was
definitely the
missing some-
Zeppelin and Sabbath. That's awesome.
No,
Yeah.
it's honestly, Chris.
I've
Like
seen most-
you have Sabbath records that I wish I had.
There you go.
Well, do you know what? If
awesome.
If there's one in there that you really, really, really want, Losier, I'm sure.
Chris,
enjoy those.
I can't
Well,
believe
hey.
you got all those for $70.
Yeah.
You just got into Sabbath.
That's true. Well, hey, I'm here to share. This is one of those things where if
Vinyl community
if we need to
love
share the
train,
wealth-
baby.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't mind parting with some. And hey, we got the guy's number. So
Let's get him on the pod.
Don't
Yeah.
give that number to me right now.
No,
We'll do an MTV Cribs.
Because he told me, this anonymous listener said he had way more, and I
Was
know
it
I
all
was
rock?
It's all rock.
Give me
Yeah.
that number in about
And-
3 weeks when I land in Canada, and I'll go have a look.
Oh, and it's in Brampton, so it's not too far
There you go.
from us. So yeah, one of these days, it sounds like he has a sweet collection. So
Epic.
he's hopefully the person who sold it to us. I didn't get his name, unfortunately. Is listening because the podcast was thrown out to him.
There you go.
Oh,
Because I was talking to him. I was
Yeah,
then on
cool.
speakerphone
Awesome.
and we were shooting the shit. So it sounds like he has a ton more, which is exciting. So there we go.
So good.
maybe a Groovy Guys field trip.
Yeah.
Once Tom hits Canadian soil.
That sounds good.
Like fun.
There you
So
go. So that's again though. I've never found anything good at garage sales. It's always been
there you go.
other
It's
people.
we got to redo.
Other
We
people.
got to redo that
Oh,
episode.
yeah.
But again, it wasn't me.
Yeah, true.
I didn't find it. It was
true.
an anonymous person I've
Yeah.
never met before in my
Very
life.
true.
Yeah, he even dropped them off. He knew where my parents live. Real creepy. Just showed up on Canada Day. Just dropped them off. I wasn't even there.
Sounds like a wild man.
Wild man, yeah.
Wow.
Now, for our listeners, if you are feeling quite busy and you need to take a break, Matt's about to talk about what he's picked up recently. So if you have somewhere to be in the next 3 to 4 hours, I would recommend pausing this and coming back later. Okay, Matt, what have you picked up?
And he's not going to have any descriptions. No descriptions, just
Okay,
names.
No, I've been trying to keep it light.
No way. No way. What is this garbage?
Been trying. I'm not gonna lie, this was a bad month for that. Bad month.
Jesus. We're
Got
not
some
going to
good
buy
stuff.
any albums this year.
That's funny.
If the number's lower than last year, I consider it a win.
Okay.
All right.
Then I stuck to my word. I'll keep it short and sweet. I also picked up Hendrix Electric Ladyland.
Nice.
Amanda Marshall self-titled, big one that came in. I got 2 Taylor Swift records that weren't in my collection before. An alternative cover of Lana Del Rey's latest record.
Nice.
And what was the other one I picked up? There's something else thrown in there. Janelle Monae's, not her latest one. Jesus, the name of the album is escaping me. The one I recommended in the group chat not too long ago.
Oh,
Yeah,
I did listen to it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting.
It's 5 different versions of her on the front cover.
Oh, cool.
The album Matt is referring to is The Electric Lady by Janelle Monae. Get it together, Matt.
Anyways, that's what I
Awesome.
picked up.
Only 6.
That's it.
Nice.
Wow. Okay.
That's weak.
There's a bit more.
There's a bit more, but his
but
wife might be listening. So
I think so. I finally won.
yeah, you
I
won. You
I was
won
gonna say,
this
Chris,
round.
you got a
Hey,
stack like I normally get a
Chris.
stack.
So
Nice, man.
it's been.
Thanks, anonymous listener.
I've actually picked up more than I expected because we've been packing to move, and I've been dreading shipping my record collection. So I've sold my turntable and speakers actually to a friend. Set him up. He had a collection, but didn't have collection from way back, but didn't have a turntable and speakers. We should talk about that.
Did you set him up? Did you set him up? Because it sounds like you left him high and dry.
I set him.
That's what it sounds like.
So how's this? I set him up, set everything up, showed him like step by step, put it on, da-da-da-da-da. I leave. He's all excited. He's going to listen to some records. I gave him, I had a double of Zeppelin an early Australian pressing of Zeppelin's first album that I left him with. And or maybe it was Zeppelin 2. Anyway, he's a massive Zeppelin fan. And showed him everything left. Then I get this, like, text message, missed call, then a call. He's like, I don't know what I've done. I, like, took the record off and I knocked the belt, like the belt drive off.
And then I put it back on, and now everything sounds like a chipmunk.
And so that's his first, like, you know, when you get a turntable and you're, like, stressing about, I've done something wrong, I don't know how to do it. So the first thing is, because with the Project Essential 3, instead of having a switch, the belt is external and it's just got two cogs. One is bigger than the other for 45 and 33, so you put it on 45. So that was an easy fix. Then I go to bed and I get a missed call. I wake up in the morning to another missed call that's like 10 and 11 o'clock at night. And I'm like, what was the problem now? He's like, oh, it doesn't matter. I'm an idiot. It's all fixed. Anyway, I pushed the issue and I was like, what have you done wrong here? He said, I did X, Y, Z and it was playing, but there was no music coming out. And I couldn't figure it out forever. And then I realized I was turning the speakers off instead of on.
Oh, God.
Anyway, technical difficulties aside, he's very happy. Lit back listening to his records. I've packed all mine up in a box.
That's
They're going
great.
on an aeroplane to Canada just before us. They're going first class because I can't bear to think of them going any other way. But in the meantime,
Smart move.
I've picked up Metallica Master of Puppets, OG Euro pressing.
Nice.
Red Hot Chili Peppers Blood Sugar Sex Magic. That was a 2012 reissue. Bowie Black Star. Really nice. Everything that comes with that record, it's really nice. Sabbath Never Say Die was the last Aussie album I needed, Australian pressing. JB Patterson's first album went on sale recently.
Nice.
Picked that up. And after this recording, I'm going to go and grab a copy of King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard's new album so I have it before we leave. I'm not going to say the title because that'll go for the rest of the episode, but you know what I'm talking about.
I heard it's amazing. Everyone's been talking about it. I haven't.
It's really good. I really liked it.
It's like a follow-up to Infest the Rat's Nest, but a bit more proggy.
Okay.
But still
All right.
thrash.
I need to thrash. Okay.
Yeah.
I need to give it a listen. It's on my list. So I'm going to the cottage next week. I'll download it and then put it on, maybe canoeing. Let's see if that goes well. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, it'll
Interesting canoe album.
yeah.
You'll be paddling very fast.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm fine with that. Yeah.
Dan, you got anything to throw in the mix, or should we move on to spinning?
No, I mean, I'll just tack on that when I just spent 2 weeks a week in London a week in England and a week in Portugal, and I was really hoping to find the last Beatles record that I needed for my collection, which is Yellow Submarine.
No joy.
Honestly, it's really hard to find Beatles records in London.
Really?
I found, and
I bet, yeah.
if I wanted a copy that was from even just the 70s, I would have had to pay £80 for it.
Wow. That's way too much.
That's
That's too
crazy.
much money, man.
Not going to do that. And so I talked to one of the guys who and like Soho just
So
has
many
tons
records.
of record stores
I
in
hope you
it.
went to Soho.
And I must have gone to 5 or 6 record stores, and I talked to one chap in a record store. And,
Language.
I had to use it for England, right? And he was the one who mentioned, he's like, yeah, you're gonna have a hard time finding that. It's everyone has it in their collection, and so
There you go.
Interesting.
it struck out. That was it's really the only record collecting I've tried to do in the last couple months. So
I'll put my grandmother on it. Whenever Bev's in England, she'll start
There you
looking
go.
for you.
Nice. Let's jump into spinning. This is always interesting to see if it's new or old music. What has been on heavy rotation for everyone? Chris?
Other than Betty Ray's?
Yeah.
Other than
I mean, that's just a constant. That's just like the sounds of
summer?
every day. So that doesn't count.
yeah.
well, honestly, for me, like I have been nonstop listening to this Gorillaz album.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
so
is that a little hint
I
for later in the year?
It's like I listen to it almost daily.
Wow.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It's incredible, and everyone I show it to, because I was never a big Gorillaz fan, and I don't love a lot of their stuff. I like most of their hits, but I never found their albums to be that compelling to me. But to me, this one is like from front to back, it's an absolute banger. And every time I show people this album, the people are really, really digging it. So that's honestly a big one.
You guys
for me
saw that that clip of him showing how he with the preset on the keyboard. It's so good.
That's the song.
Yeah, that's that's the song.
That killed me.
That's it. That's the preset. It's the Rock 1 preset.
Preset 1 or preset
Rock
2A
preset
or whatever.
1.
Yeah.
That's
Killed
amazing.
me. How'd you write that?
Yeah.
That's an iconic riff. Imagine the guy who actually wrote that. Somebody wrote that.
Yeah, true.
Imagine being there and you hear that song and you're like, I wrote that for
Rock
that
preset
Roland
1.
keyboard or whatever. That's
It's like like electronics programmer in Japan putting, designing this keyboard.
probably straight out of university. They paid a $5 or whatever it is. She's like, God. Yeah.
How about you, Matt? What's been on heavy rotation?
Been on a huge Amanda Marshall kick from seeing her.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Been listening to her nonstop. The new Killer Mike record is amazing.
Oh, you were saying that. Yeah.
It's so good. Also been listening to the Gorillaz a lot. I've been on a huge Lana Del Rey kick recently too. And I keep
big album.
Yeah, I love that album so much. And I keep going back to Taylor's latest record too.
Oh, wow.
I've been listening to Midnight's a bit too, actually. Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah.
I've been on our super group playlists because I've been doing a lot of work in the backyard or like building furniture or like moving stuff. And
The latest one is so good.
The latest one is good. For the future, the 90s one, the 90s one is really good. 80s one I put on when my in-laws or my parents are over. They seem to really like that one. The 70s one is
the 70s one is the best one.
Honestly, I've been playing the 70s one
The 71's amazing.
nonstop.
It's amazing.
So if you want, we'll
That episode's
throw
out.
the
That episode's out. So you can get that.
We'll throw the.
It's what's amazing about the 70s one is that it's a rock supergroup, but because of Rumors, Night at the Opera and Zeppelin 3, like those are 3 albums that have so many different genres in them that the whole playlist ends up being like a
It's wicked.
multi-genre playlist.
It's really cool,
Totally.
honestly.
And then you get it mixed in with like this amazing hard rock from Sabbath, and it's
So you
like,
can
It works. Yeah, it works really well. We'll throw the link in.
Well, for the listener, just go to Create Expectations Pod on Instagram and click the link in bio, and there's a link straight to our Spotify playlists. That's that one there.
amazing.
I've pretty much been, since I went to, and I'll talk about this more in Giggin, but since I went to that Knot Fest, I've just been listening to so much heavy music. And I was saying to you guys, like I'm like 1 to 2 years behind on new music. So all my favorite music this year is from last year.
That's me too. Yeah.
But yeah, Malevolence is an English, they're like hardcore thrash. They're like hardcore meets Pantera. They are my current, like, I've been listening to their album nonstop, and I've been listening to the new King Gizzard nonstop. I listened to it 3 times in a row, back to back, when it first came out.
Wow.
I loved it that much.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really, really good. And because it's not just straight thrash, it's got that kind of proggy element. There's layers. So you can
really proggy.
You can like listen to it multiple times and appreciate different things. So yeah, it's real good.
I'm excited.
Yeah, great album. It's a really like that. What they
All right,
put
let's
out.
jump into
Doing it.
Giggin.
I'm doing it right now.
Good.
I'm downloading
Save
that
it.
album.
Download it.
Download.
Save it for your canoe trip. All right, let's talk gigging. Dan, I called you legal earlier, and that's because you're a cool guy, that's a bit of Portuguese slang for you, because you were in Portugal recently at a festival.
Time in England and in Portugal. I actually want to touch on an experience in London.
Let's go.
We went to Ronnie Scott's Jazz Club, which is one of the most iconic jazz clubs in the world. One of the most famous live records, Ella in London, was recorded at that. at that venue. You have to buy tickets. You know, people stand in line to get in the night of. There's a early show and a late show, and we ended up going to a show where it was a showcase for young musicians, and so it's just basically you kind of like a host who's on sax, and then 4 other musicians to make a full band, so drummer, bass, another saxophonist, and they each play each other's songs. So like they'll just jam out a 25-minute piece of each other's songs.
Really
and it was
cool.
just, honestly, it was really, really cool experience to be in that jazz bar and to kind of be in that iconic place. Like you just see photos across the entire, it's really, really small, tight venue. Like I'm talking like 100, maybe 100 cap space. It's really small and tight.
Wow.
Nice.
But you just see photos of all these iconic players on the wall. So it was really, really cool. So I had to get a shout out for that. But also went to Primavera Sound in Portugal.
So jealous.
Just an amazing experience. I personally am not a big festivals guy. Definitely not one to like ever want to camp at a festival. This isn't a camping festival. It's like European festivals seem to have a very different vibe. They start at 5 p.m. And they go till 5 a.m.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, for the listeners who don't really know the lineup at the Primavera show, it's very diverse. Like Kendrick Lamar was the headliner. He closed out the first night. Honest to God, one of the greatest concert experiences of my life.
I bet.
It was pissing rain while we were waiting for him to come out. Baby Keem played right before, who's Kendrick's cousin.
Oh, cool.
And so he got us really hyped up for Kendrick. And he came out and started playing N95. And as soon as you go from like that little melodic start right into the lyrics, like fireworks just go off. A big banner behind him comes down. And it was just him playing all the hits from his latest album. And then he just played greatest hits for basically 2 hours.
That's amazing.
Holy smokes.
And like we were right at the front of the pit. Like I'm talking like 2 people in front of.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
And were in front of me right up at the stage. And it was just really like he just put on an amazing show. It was just him on stage and it's just like he's such an artist. It wasn't just a rapper on stage. Like it felt like art. It was really something else.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
The festival was really long. Like it rained a ton.
It's festivals,
It
man.
was 4 days. Honestly, Alina and I only made it to 3 of the 4 days.
Sounds about right.
By the
That's a
4th
lot,
day,
though.
like 2 weeks of travel.
That's a lot.
Two weeks of traveling through Europe, man. Like we were exhausted.
Dude, you're old.
And,
You're
we just
old,
couldn't-
man. Like,
I know.
you're old. That's
I really want to see Bad Religion, but they went on at 1:30 a.m.
God, that
and
would've
it
been
was
good.
like
on what day?
cold, and this was the second day, and it was cold and pissing rain the entire day, and we didn't even
That's
see
really
it.
weird.
We're
That
like, let's just
like,
go home.
I don't know about Canada, but festivals in Australia start at 10 a.m. and maybe
Yes.
the headliner is at 11
Yeah.
p.m.
That's what I mean. Like it's the same thing over here, right? It's like it's definitely a European
bizarre.
festival vibe.
Wait.
Like as soon as the headliner's done, it's just EDM.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
until
like
5 a.m. Right? So it's just
that's like here, Bonnaroo. It started at like 11, I would say, and then the headliner started at 11 p.m. went till like 1, and then after 1 o'clock or till like 5 or 6 in the morning was all just like dance music and trap and EDM and all that. So,
But Dan, you're
but all
sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, all in all, great festival. Shout outs to Pusha T, who put on an amazing set.
bet.
Everyone in the crowd knew every single lyric to all of his songs.
That's fun.
And I think he played longer than he should have. Like he was just essentially just playing he was just singing his part from all these different songs. And then the song would end when it would be someone else's part. So it was like a lot of like 30-second, 45-second
a medley.
That's fun though.
Performances, which was really good. And St. Vincent was phenomenal.
dude, so
She puts on
good.
such a good visual experience,
cool.
and she has amazing stage presence. And Mars Volta, a big band for me in
Yes.
high school. I've never seen them live before. they're just a wall of sound. And it was, I don't think a lot of people went to Japanese breakfast instead.
Oh. That would have been good too.
Also, like Alina ended up going to that. I'm kind of sad I missed that but I really need to see Mars Volta.
Yes. Yeah.
But it was just like, honestly, me on the side stage with a torrential downpour, heavy winds, and like that atmosphere with the Mars Volta playing was just perfect. So that was a really cool experience. So yeah, all in all, great festival, and highly recommend. I mean, it's an amazing lineup. It's very diverse, and getting to experience that in Portugal is obviously just an amazing experience.
But you're not even done. You bloody saw Herbie Hancock.
Oh my God. Yeah. Another big,
What the hell?
Honestly, seeing Herbie Hancock live last week, like, it was truly a magical experience. I mean, I wasn't even, like, I hadn't really had anything to drink. I wasn't on any substances, and it was ethereal. He just has such a presence, and he's 83 years old, still absolutely killing it. Everything I heard was fresh. His band is just as good as he is.
That's cool.
It was, I'm really glad I got to, I mean, just trying to think, like, who's another big player like that that's still alive, still performing. There aren't really any, no one left, Yep. Like the guy was in Miles Davis's band in the 60s.
That's crazy.
To see someone like that of that caliber, and shout out to Meridian Hall, like an amazing venue for that size. It's a sit down. It's really just exclusively a sit down like atmosphere, but perfect for Herbie Hancock.
That's awesome.
So
nice.
Yeah, another amazing
you've been
experience.
on fire. That is,
I know.
That's seriously good. And Chris, you had a pretty cool, like, super unique, niche, intimate experience recently, which I was just like glued to your Instagram stories about.
Oh my God, yeah, it looks so cool.
It was the strangest concert I've ever been to, but also one of the most fun. It was on Matt Mays and his I think wife. I'm gonna go with wife or partner's farm. So they own a llama farm on the outskirts of Hamilton, and they have a barn in the back, kind of like do you know what it's exactly like? Hazlitt's barn for Lozier.
Okay.
Lozier and people who went to Laurier
our listeners
Brantford
will know exactly what you're talking
know
about.
that. But yeah, friends of ours. But it was the same idea. It's this little barn. They fixed it up a little bit, and literally they put a stage, and you look out the window and there's a bunch of llamas, and then you look and there's Matt Mays with an acoustic guitar just singing you songs, and there's only like
cool.
four rows of seats. He gets up after, like, he'll talk to you about how he wrote the song. He tested a bunch of new songs off his album on us. Halfway through a couple, he's just like, I can't remember the lyrics. And he has his little songbook out and he's talking about it. He's like, I might change this later. And he literally was like working some things out, which was really kind of neat to see.
That's cool.
How'd you score tickets to that?
So Lost Mile Barn is their Instagram, so you can check that out. And then randomly they'll just post and they'll be like, concert this day. It's like BYOB. They sell like food and like gear, like like posters and stuff, and then he'll sign it. But super low key. Him, his kids, and his wife, they all like organize it and run it.
It's really neat.
Super chill.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was very, very unique. In the basement, you can just wander through his recording studio, which is just in the basement. He's got a swing hanging there, his piano, all his guitars, literally, were just sitting out like on the couch, as if he just was like screwing around with them. He just put them all on the couch, didn't put anything away, just like trusted people like not to touch his shit. And no one did. Like, I went in, I took a picture, I kind of had a quick look.
Super unique experience.
Honestly, it was. I hope they do it again. I hope the price is the same. It wasn't super expensive, but it wasn't unreasonable for what it was. And I know they do like yoga with the llamas. They're trying to do like a bunch of kind of fun things.
That's really cool, man.
it was, again, one of these strange, and it was like a Monday night, which I was like, oh my God, why am I going to a concert on a Monday night?
And also, why were you
be,
going to a country music concert when you hate country music?
It's Matt Mays, man. And Adam Baldwin. I brought my Adam Baldwin album just in case.
Oh, was he there?
No, he was, Matt literally looked at me. I was like, hey, I'm like, I thought Adam Baldwin would be here. He's like, he's coming tomorrow.
Oh,
shit.
Shit.
Just missed him.
Didn't get invited back though.
Yeah.
But I was wearing a really ugly shirt, and he's like, hey, I really like I had like this really ugly sweater on with an eagle on it, and he's like, I really like your sweater, and he looked at it, and then he's like, oh, and your hat, and I was wearing my Chemical City
nice.
Sam Roberts hat, so I was like, oh, nice. So that felt good.
nice.
You know,
That's awesome, man. Mm-hmm. And then,
Yeah, what a cool experience.
yeah, that was all Lee. That's my wife. My wife forced me to go. She bought the tickets.
Good.
Oh no, Jenny, my wife's cousin, called her, and they colluded. And then I was like, I don't want to go. It's a Monday night. And then they're like, well, we'll go without you. And I was like, no, I'm going.
always
and it
say
was
yes to that stuff.
and it was amazing.
You're not going to be on your deathbed thinking, man, I got such a good sleep that Monday night. Lee went to Matt Mays.
Exactly.
Hey, same with Blink.
Yeah, you just
There
got
we
to
go.
do it. Hey,
You just got to do it. Right, Carvalho?
Matt,
Yep.
you're in trouble, by the way, because my wife is furious that you went to Amanda Marshall and she didn't. So tell us all about it.
She's going to be real mad when she hears the story.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Do you see how close you were?
Seats were insane.
How did you get those?
Yeah.
It totally happened by chance, to be honest with you. I don't even know how it happened. So about a week before the gig's taking place, I get a call from the venue. I'm like, oh, no. Did the date change? Did something get canceled? That's going to suck, right? Because we had a sitter and everything all lined up. And so I call the venue back, and the first girl answers the phone. She's like, oh, I'm not entirely sure why we called you. Hang on, let me pass you off to our box office. So then I'm talking to a guy. He's like, oh, so yeah, the reason we're calling is we just got a bunch of seats that opened up. We were wondering if you wanted to upgrade your tickets free of charge. I was like, okay, sure. Like, where are the seats located? Because we were already on the floor. And because they only did half a venue, right? So it was all seated. Okay, and I'm like, so where are the seats? He's like, oh, let me just see what we got. I hear him kind of talking to himself. He's like, we could put you front row seats 10 and 11. And I'm like, oh, okay, great. That sounds awesome.
Yeah. And it's free?
Yeah.
Free upgrade?
So then we get to the venue, and we're there. It was kind of funny because like there's like 5 ushers brought us to our seats, which was totally unnecessary. They're like, oh, these are your seats? And we're like, yeah. So they passed us off to one, passed us off to another. Anyways, it was so weird. So anyways, we were seated at the front, and we found out later that we were all kind of grouped together with a lot of the people that did the meet and greets. With
cool.
Amanda Marshall's. Because everyone in that front row basically had like a gift bag, a signed poster, or vinyl, one of the two. So and the show was incredible. Like, she was like just this little ball of fire that came out. The band was amazing. It was really intimate. I'm pretty sure we sat next to her, like, number one fan besides your wife, Tom. This lady was like belting out every single song.
So
she was
cool.
up on the cage, jumping around, dancing. She was having a blast.
That's amazing.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was a great show. Like, we had so much fun.
Yeah, we've been seeing a bit of her stuff on social from the tour, and it looks awesome.
Yeah.
She rocks.
I didn't like. It's crazy. She was gone for 20 years.
Yeah.
Like, no touring, no nothing.
Oh, really? I didn't know
it was
that.
a long
Honestly,
break.
I thought she had disappeared until you started talking about her.
Yeah.
Again.
So this all kind of
Makes sense,
started I think it was around Christmas. I had found out that I hadn't found out
The album was
just
getting
yet.
like released on vinyl for the first time? Or?
Yeah, because I've been looking for it for a while, and then I think I brought it up to you, Tom, saying like, oh, if I find a copy for pre-order, I'll get us one each. And then sure enough, I found a link to one, and then then I would say about a month or two later, just kind of online looking at shows coming to Budweiser Gardens, like in London, and sure enough, she's one of the touring artists. I was like, oh, we're going to that show. That's going to be awesome.
So good, man.
Yeah, man,
So good.
that's sweet. You got a bunch of good artists coming through London this year.
Tons.
the thing.
And it's awesome because like we're not that far away from the venue, and it's like
that's cool.
That's good.
Not nowhere near the amount of traffic that you get in Toronto. Like going to Toronto is fun and stuff, but like man, you're sitting in heaps of traffic. Getting home's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
So this, it's like if we want to take a cab, like 10, 15 minutes, we're there.
Yeah,
that's
cool.
pretty sweet.
Yeah,
that's great, man.
So I'll wrap up on the Giggin, and I tell you what, I have been on a tear this year because I think because we're moving, I've just been like, I'm going at everything I can get my hands on. And I'll rattle off a couple and then I'll go into a bit of detail on a couple others. So Billy Bragg, English folk singer, activist, really intimate show. Prime Minister of Australia was up in the VIP area on the mezzanine.
Nice.
That was pretty cool. Jason Bonham's Led Zeppelin experience, I've gone into that in detail in one of our other episodes, so I won't talk about that other than say it was an amazing gig. Finally saw JB Patterson live.
Nice.
That was very,
awesome.
Very cool, and it was just in like a beer hall, and we were 2 meters from him, standing right up the front, like a couple of dorks.
That's
it was
amazing.
Awesome.
That's amazing. Real jealous.
Yeah, that was so good. C.O.F.F.I.N, another Aussie punk band, saw them in a really small venue, was maybe, I don't know, a metre from the stage, in the thick of the mosh like an idiot. I had my loops in, so my ears were fine the next day. Saw the Chats at an even smaller venue. They posted something on a Wednesday morning saying, we've got a gig tonight. It was a warm-up for their upcoming tour. 300 packs venue. Unbelievable.
Oh, man.
On a Wednesday night. They invited a guy up on stage to play bass on 6-litre GTR. That's on our Instagram. Check that out. That was very cool. Betty Ray's, just last weekend, the show was sold out, and I wasn't in town. I wasn't in town, so I wasn't going. I got back from a wedding early. I thought, I'm going to try and get tickets. It's sold out. I went onto a resale website. There was none available on there. So I posted on every Betty Ray's thing I could find on social media, does anyone have tickets for sale? Does anyone have tickets for sale? I ended up messaging with like 3 or 4 different people. I bought 2 tickets off someone who was sick and couldn't go. I didn't have anyone to go with, but I was like, well, if you're selling 2, I'll buy 2. I'll figure it out later. It was so good. It was so good. Support acts.
That's like a lot of fun.
Support acts. One reggae band, name escapes me right now, South Summit, and one like indie band, Betty Taylor. Really, really cool. Recommend checking them out. But man, Betty Ray's just, man, they gig hard and they're just so much fun.
That's awesome.
And
real jealous.
like my last gig in Brisbane at my favourite venue with a Brisbane band sold out show. Like just perfect. I'm so happy I went. Yeah.
That's great. Perfect way to get
up to Betty Ray's. Now all that needs to happen is for them to tour Canada and for all the Groovy Guys to go.
Yeah,
I heard you told them that though, right?
I did.
You said.
I told them because I got a photo. I felt like a dick.
For me.
I felt like such a dickhead.
No. Why?
Because I hate doing that. But yeah, I got I bought a shirt, got a photo with Jacko and the guitarist, and someone else took the photo for me. And I said, this is for my buddy. We've got a podcast and you guys have got to come to Canada. So it's
and what did they say?
Oh, yeah, man, sure. We'll come to Canada.
Yeah, they weren't enthusiastic at all.
Like, who is this drunk idiot?
Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah, they also need someone to book the shows for them. They get,
I'm on it.
Yeah.
I'm on it. Put me on the job.
Okay.
And then I mentioned earlier, Knotfest. Tell you what, if you're anywhere near liking heavy music, Knotfest, just such a good festival. The way, I don't know if all festivals do it these days, but 2 stages, so like 15 minutes between sets, and you just I was on my feet for 8 hours, but In Flames, North Lane, Amon Amarth, Trivium, Megadeth, Parkway Drive, and Slipknot. That was my day. I've put the.
I knew 2 of those. I know 2 of those bands.
Yeah, I know 2 of those bands.
And 2 of them are pretty epic, but oh man.
I tell you what, Trivium, I'd never seen them live. They are phenomenal musicians, like thrash, I don't know what you'd call them, but from Florida. They are unbelievable. Megadeth were awesome. Parkway Drive are locals. They were great. Slipknot were epic. My friends left halfway through Slipknot. They were done with it, and I was like, all right, well, I'm going into the pit then. So I was just on my own, like in the thick of it. It was so good.
I think I really want to see Slipknot. Everyone who sees Slipknot live is like,
they are
life changing,
very good, and
that's.
I think they write
musically talented.
Yeah, and I just think they write good hooks. Like they're catchy songs. Yeah. So
Adam Newling, another band I listened to, you posted a picture, and Adam Newling posted a picture, and I was like, Tom is literally standing next to this Australian artist who I love so much right now,
who is also at Knotfest, like standing next to me.
Yeah, real. I was like, oh my god, go! About right. I was about to be like, go find him, find him and take a picture with him.
Yeah, that was really cool. Hey, that sounds like a wrap on Diggin, Spinnin Giggin. But before we go, a couple of shout outs. We've been getting a bit of listener mail. There's a voicemail feature on Spotify podcasts now where you can actually record, like leave us a voicemail. JR, friend of the show, sent us a voicemail through that platform.
Did he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
That name sounds really familiar.
Yeah.
JR.
Chris, do you know a JR?
Wait. I think that might be the anonymous caller.
That might be the anonymous caller.
I think
there you go.
I think that's him.
So he's not,
John Riddle? I think it's John Riddle. Yeah, that's him.
Okay.
No,
it's probably not him.
So he's still so forgettable.
Still a stalker though. So JR, our number 2 fan, sent us a voicemail saying he loved the show, loves how we bust each other's balls, and he challenged us to a music off, but of course, JR, there's no contest. We know that you and John Palumbo are much more intelligent and love much better artists like us, like Meatloaf, for example, etc. But I don't know.
Who sings Razzmatazz?
Matt, maybe splice that voicemail in here so everyone can hear the dulcet tones of JR.
Hey, Groovy Guys, John Riddle calling, good friend of John Palumbo, the honorary 5th member of the Groovy Guys. John's been talking to me a lot about your podcast, and I've given the last 4 or 5 months and been getting back and forth on it. Really love what you guys are doing. I'm a big music fan, and you guys have turned me on to some stuff that I wasn't even aware of, and it's the thing I love about music. And so many people, there's so many great opinions out there. I love the way you guys work together. It's fun to listen. You go back and forth and bust balls. But listen, I just wanted to pass on my kudos. Love to get onto the program sometime and prove that I know much more than you guys do. Have a great day. Look forward to hearing from you.
And also shout out to Rhonda H. She sent us a really nice email. Quite a long email. I won't read the whole thing out. But essentially saying she loved the show. It had been getting her into, she'd started record collecting and, made her understand a bit more about different pressings and that sort of thing. But also she'd been getting into listening to albums in the album format. She's a Betty Ray's fan too. She's a Betty Ray's fan.
Good.
So
who is?
I think everyone's a Betty Ray's fan, but she also said she gave some feedback on mixing up the content, featuring artists from more diverse backgrounds. Just want to say, Rhonda, I know we've replied to your email, but we genuinely appreciate the feedback. Thanks for tuning in. If anyone else wants to get in touch, head to createexpectationspod.com, all of our channel info, or send us an email, createexpectationspod@gmail.com. Till next time, keep digging and spinning.
Tom, you've been going to show like I pick up records.
Man. I know. Fuck.
The Groovy Guys are Tom Kennedy, Dan Lozier, Chris Palumbo, and Matt Carvalho. With your host, Tom Kennedy. Music by Dan Lozier, post-production by Matt, and album art by Chris.